after graduating. Biggest mistake I did was try to excel because I thought I naturally assumed the way we were raised, especially with the immigrant vibes, you have to excel. It's natural. Yeah. But it's not necessarily the best thing for your health.
Yes.
And family and relationships.
Social life.
If my health preserved means I lose my job, it's okay.
Yeah. Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Immigrant Section. It's your boy Abbas Wahab saying thank you for tuning in. We got another banger for you today. This episode has not been on this. Yeah, what the fuck am I saying? You know what I mean? This guy's not been. This is what happens when you overthink shit. But my man here is actually an old friend. Fellow engineer. Finally, we're going to have somebody on who's not like, man, anything but engineering. This guy's killing it. My guy, I ran into a show back in Kitchener. I'm like, bro, you got to come on the podcast. My guy, Alan Abbas.
Thank you so much.
Bro, great last name, by the way, man.
Appreciate it, Abbas.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me. Super excited to be here. And love what you did to the studio.
You like it?
I've watched previous episodes and I can see the evolution of the design and the space. So good work on that one.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah. It is a work in progress. I think about it now almost like, you know, Tony Stark's like lab with like that working arm. This is how I think of this room from a media point of view. Yes. You know, like it's like Jarvis, connect the thing, and then it'll be like this thing will like move or whatever.
I can see it's very modular, and I really like the lighting on top. I don't think they can see it in the camera, but it's very well engineered.
Thank you for that. And just real quick, what does modular mean? Just real quick. The Immigrant Section, we like to find out words and definitions.
I'm not really sure what it means, but modular means small pieces that can fit together. For example, a building construction goes foundation, blah, blah, blah. Modular building, the bathroom will come in one piece and just pops in.
Gotcha.
You literally put it in, so it's a modular bathroom.
Gotcha.
And a lot of devices are modular. So when you're building a new iPhone, maybe the camera part is a module. And you just
like
put
the sub-assemblies.
Yeah,
yes. Sub-assemblies.
Yes.
Yo, this is going to be pure engineering talk.
No,
I love it. I'm looking forward to it, bro. It's nice. I haven't had this conversation in a minute, you know? Obviously we did the engineering thing. Bro, I just look back at the Waterloo days of what the hell we were up to, bro. You know what's funny looking back? You were that guy that actually loved to read back when no one was into reading at all. And we would just be like, fucking Alan, he's so extra. He loves this knowledge. He loves these fucking motivation books and like Tim Robbins or whatever the fuck. Like
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins, yeah, see? What's it called? What's the guy that does the Johnny Depp stuff? Tim Burton.
Yes.
Those Tim Burton books were crazy, bro. So motivational.
Yeah, and it was very motivational hearing you guys make fun of it because it really pushed me to read even more. And it's one thing. I actually have a few books here we'll give away maybe at some point in the show. It's two of my favorite books. But
Wait, giveaway? What do you mean by giveaway?
Like whoever wants them can just let me know and I'll mail it to them.
Dude, let me have them. Fuck everybody. I'm serious. No, literally screw people. The Lean Startup. Okay, I actually have heard about this. Yo, see, this is the guy right here.
So anyone that's thinking of starting something, you're not happy at your job and you want to learn some good principles on how you can launch a lean startup. This is one of my favorite books on it. I read it 10 years ago for the first time, and I would love to give it out to anyone. So just let me know your address in Canada, and I'll ship it to you.
See, this is the type of guy this is. Who does this? This is guy just spreading knowledge, taking the hit on shipping costs, paying to get it to you just to spread the knowledge. Next one.
Next one is Super Freakonomics. If you're into podcasts, just look at their podcast. Super interesting everyday applications of economics. So prostitution economics is one of the chapters here. He goes to Chicago and he starts surveying people on the cost for different various things and he tabulates it. So things like that.
And at the end, he gets a very competitively priced blowjob. It's great. He scores it. He leaves a review.
It's all market research. And again, one of my favorite books, lots of pictures. So I like, you know, it's easy to reread.
So it's very, so it's very consumable for the dumbasses out there.
So if you like this, just let me know your address.
Yo, can I have that one? I think I need the one with the pictures.
Actually?
Actually, I will fuck with that one.
Pick one.
The Lean Startup, I skimmed through this back in the day because when I worked at a startup, everyone is like, dude, everyone's so cocky and like in tech, Silicon Valley. Oh my God. You know the moment that I knew I didn't belong? Yeah. I was in China at a breakfast because the company was launching a product in China, and I was operations program manager there.
Which company? The car.
They've died since. They were called Auto at the time. Auto Lock. They've pivoted hard.
Okay, not
but
very creative in the naming. I guess,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. It's all these ex-Apple executives left Apple and tried to make like, you know, like the digital lock that unlocks your front door. The Apple of it. Because there's many on the market. They're trying to make like the beautiful, simplistic, like, you know what I mean? But anyways, they're trying to launch this product in China, and there's a bunch of engineers there, and we're at breakfast one day, and all three of these engineers, they just keep talking, and they're like, oh, MVP this and MVP that. And I'm like, what the fuck is an MVP? And they all looked, bro, it was a table of four. Three of them looked at me at once, and we're like, minimal viable product. And I was like, you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
I was like, I need to get the fuck out of this country. I need to get they're minimal viable product. Like, I was like, oh my God, get off my fucking ass, you pricks.
It does get annoying at times, but there are some useful situations in here that can be applied to your fitness. So what's the minimum viable fitness routine that will get you fit? And that's somewhere, this is how you do it also.
No, I got no beef against MVP. Like, I'm not saying like that whole concept is like null and void and useless. I'm just saying the way they said it, like they all read the basic fucking, you know, Bibles of startups over there. And they're like, a minimal viable product.
It should be obvious.
And they're all, and dude, what's funny is I was the senior guy there. I was the senior most guy.
Wow. No.
That's why I was like, guys, shut the fuck up. I'm leading all of you, and I got here just with charisma. I don't even give a fuck. Be mindful of that. I don't even know what MVP is, and you're asking me what we're going to do today. Don't forget that, all right?
Fair
Boom!
enough. Good point.
Just a little bit of an ego there. I'm like, I don't need to know minimal viable. I cried in the fucking hotel that night. I'm like, look, I'm just looking at the hierarchy, the structure hierarchy, like me above these guys, just crying. Look, see, I above.
But did it annoy you more or did it bother you more?
It was just the tone that they all said it. Like, how are you here and not know MVP?
Presumptuous.
Yeah,
or show offy.
Yeah, it was kind of like, and these all were guys that are like, the funny thing was, most of these guys were hired hands, and so was I. Like, you know, like so you work right now at Amazon, right? And this is your second stint at Amazon.
Yes.
And Amazon's not even a startup. It's a fucking multinational, but it still seems, based on what I read in the articles, it seems to have those inner workings of startup culture in a massive corporation, you know?
They try. That's the goal. And the new teams, especially the ones in Canada, have that vibe. But once a team hits 500 people, there's only so much you can do to make it startup speed.
Yeah, it's 150 is that limit, right? That tribal limit number.
Exactly. I forget the name of the Dunbar's number.
Yeah, 150.
150. Beyond that number, it's hard to have a society because that's the maximum number of people in a tribe.
Yeah, you don't know who's good at what. You don't know who's bad at what. There's no accountability. All that shit is just gone.
Exactly. 100%.
Bro, I remember when you first got a job at Amazon and moved to Vancouver. Back then, it was like, if you were at Amazon for 1 year, you were considered a veteran.
Yes.
Is it still like that? Like boot camp, hellish, like, you know, and the HR and lawyers at Amazon are like, watch your step. Careful now. They're just watching this video.
No.
Tread carefully. You're on thin ice. And we're suing. No. Like, as if they have time to give a fuck about this. But, like, has it relaxed a little bit since Bezos leaving, or is it still like his legacy tyranny is still there?
So he left July of last year, so it's almost been a year.
Yeah.
And the idea of the new CEO, Andy Jassy, is to be, you know, a more positive force. And as with any companies, we have leadership principles. And a new one that started last year is striving to be Earth's best employer. Whether they're doing it or not, it'll take time to tell. But there's at least the branding of trying to fix that culture problem. But to answer your question, it's still like that.
Yeah.
Spending 5 years there.
Hey, Amazon, here's step one to become Earth's best employer. Let your people use the bathroom. That's step one, all right? That's step one. You know what I mean? Let them release their bladders, and then we could put you in the conversation of world's best employer, you know? Like
100%.
Dude, do you guys imagine just a comedian coming and just doing a set? I got hired by a pharmaceutical company this Monday. I'm going in 10 a.m. to a sales team to do 20 minutes of stand-up for them before they kick off the day.
That's amazing.
I
That's
know.
a really good idea.
Isn't that hilarious? Where I was like, I've never set an alarm to go do stand-up. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, rise and shine. Like literally breakfast before stand-up. I've never done that. But I'm going to watch Wolf of Wall Street tomorrow just to get back in that mindset of sales.
I think you'll have fun. Is it? Can you curse?
I'm going to do everything.
No,
they
no
asked
rules.
I'm going to make fun of the product like crazy. The product is so, like, you can make fun of it. It's a numbing cream.
Oh my god!
Like you put it on, it's like you put it on your face and then they do microblading or tattooing or something. It's a numbing cream, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm like, who do you guys hate here the most? All right. They say, we're going to have a slapping competition. Don't worry, we're going to put this shit on their face first. So it'll be ethical. You know what I mean?
There's gonna be a lot of material there.
Oh, I can't wait because salespeople are like pretty rough edged when it comes down to like when you look at the corporate entity, the
Yes.
salespeople are probably the ones who are going to be able to take a joke best.
They should. They
Right?
should be. I hope so. But good luck with that. And
Good luck with that. I'm saying, imagine Amazon had that in the big depots.
I think it will be tough not to laugh at a lot of the shit that goes on there. And I think someone like you who might write stand-up material for that, oh my God. I don't even think you need to go there. You can post it online, Amazon warehouse stand-up.
Yeah,
it'll
right.
go viral.
He's like, guys, for all of you holding your bladders right now, just remember, Jeff Bezos has $200 billion, all right? That'll help you hold your bladder, I hope. He has all the money in the world. If that can help you hold your bladder, just be mindful of that. Or, oh, we got someone peeing. Can we get a paper towel here? You know? Oh, can't hold their bladder, you know? I actually got a puppy right now fucking peeing everywhere. I imagine that's what it's like at Amazon Depot.
Oh my God.
Just pee puddles. I can't do it. They're
is-
dragging him away. His KPIs have fallen off. Please, I got a mortgage. Come on, buddy. Let's go. You've been warned. That's your second sneeze today, buddy.
But these on a more serious note, these happen a lot in the big, huge warehouses, which we do not have in Canada because we're all just the volume is a lot less.
Yeah.
So we don't see, like I've worked in the warehouses and the delivery stations. I've heard a lot of these stories from the US, but I've never seen it in Canada.
Gotcha. You need to have these like massive.
We're talking like the one here is 500,000 square feet, and there it's like 4 million, 8 times as big. It's like 4 floors from end to end, 15, 20-minute walk. We don't have those huge warehouses here, so you can always find a bathroom.
Those massive ones have microclimates in them, huh?
I assume so.
My
yeah.
buddy JD was telling me about that because he was servicing some
Batteries.
huge like what's it called one like a depot type people with a bunch of like my buddy JD's got a battery forklift battery company and he was going to these people. He's saying it was so big that one corner would have snow, literally frost. The other corner would have like precipitation. Like they have microclimates in this fucking thing, dude.
They are
massive. Yeah, where they like account for the curvature of the earth, right?
I don't think it's that intense, but I can.
When they're
believe-
like a couple football fields long, they have to be, don't they? I mean, as a civil engineer, you should know this. That like,
I should, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
feel like
I
you guys
don't.
would have taken this.
So I've not worked as a civil engineer for a year since I graduated. I've started in operations, and every single year I try to move away from the civil. So I
What's your title right now?
product and customer insights manager.
Oh shit!
Yes.
Okay, 6 figures. That's for sure. I love it. That's what I got, man. I love it, man. I got into. I mean, it's not like I ever did nano. You know, and we knew back in Waterloo, we knew none of us were gonna be doing a nano thing. What the fuck is a nano?
I mean, yes, it's so advanced that
who's
people
people
don't
on an undergrad?
people don't necessarily know the impact and the knowledge, but it's very transferable. The branding is strong there, and I think the branding helps even till this day as you do this comedy.
Yeah, you think so?
I think being an engineer graduate, the look at the studio. I think there's a lot of sound engineering here that you would have had to hire someone a long time ago that you maybe couldn't afford. But now you have a producer and you've set up your workflows in a very optimized manner, I think. Otherwise, how would you do once a week for 3 years? That's like mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
Is that accurate? How
Yes.
That's,
This is episode. Who knows what this will be episode 150 something, one a week. So 52 in a year. That's just quick math. You know what I mean? 1 + 1 - 4 is 3. Quick math or whatever the fuck. Yeah, man. It's been a long ride, bro. It's been a long ride, man. Like, just trying to get processes, and I have, Firas, our buddy. Like, all of my engineering friends can take this, making it like leaner and making it more like streamlined. They can take that to the way next level, dude. At one point, I used to try to post clips of the podcast on Reddit.
Yes.
But Reddit has a karma system where you can only post if you yourself are involved in the community. Whether you've commented in the past, blah, 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 this. So I went to Faraz and I had him create a bot that would repost the last 1,000th post on our videos every like 2 hours. So it would generate the karma I needed, auto-generate the karma I needed to be able to post. And still, till this day, my most viral clips on my channel, how Arabs haggle with Mo Ismail early on.
Yes.
That's the most viral clip I ever had.
I've just shared it with a bunch of people like this week.
Yeah, that one with 20,000 views, that one was hacked through Reddit. I mean, once it gets in front of the people, the content is great. It's just becoming a visible signal in the ocean of content, right? That's the difficult thing. But Reddit wisened up to that shit, and they knew it was a bot. They canceled it. We redid it again. Then they canceled it even faster. So I was like, damn it, back to just organic growth. You know what I mean? Fuck.
So what would the bot do? Repost the same video to a random
whatever
subreddit?
the 1,000th last video on our video was in that moment of time. So it's always a different video.
Okay.
It'll just take that link and repost it.
Where? Like
on our videos. In Reddit, the video subreddit.
Okay, and that would
and
work.
Then I wrote a list of 30 comments. Ha lol. Why am I up this late? Anybody else high right now? Like all of these general ones, and it would blast those random comments in like every like whatever intervals all day. So it's constantly generating karma. So I could just post however much I wanted.
I see.
You know?
Okay, I got it.
Because you
now.
need like 20 karma to make a
without
post.
karma, you can't even post.
You can't. You can't be involved.
Got it. Interesting.
Yeah. You can't be involved as like a contributor.
You can just comment.
Yeah, you can comment. So you comment, and then you do some other stuff, and then you build it, and then it was working for a while. But see, that is the power of engineering. That's the power for us being like, bro.
Automation.
Automation, bro. I'm saying that is when I was like, oh shit, fuck, you're not gonna fuck with me. You know what I mean? But
I
then
love it.
they got wise to that shit.
We'll engineer something even better.
I mean, it's grown, and now I have the body of work, right? We were talking about Naval Ravikant, right?
Yes, Naval.
Who, if you don't know him, he's pretty much self-made Indian billionaire who's now like social guru. And like we're talking, this motherfucker is just 2 podcasts away from a new religion, He just needs to grow his hair out, get some long hair. He could have a cult tomorrow. Especially with his
100%.
voice. It's almost as if he never stops to think,
He always says he doesn't prepare for podcast. He doesn't have any notes. He just turns on the camera and speaks.
Yes.
And he's listening to himself for the first time with you, the listener. So he doesn't know what's coming out, but it's always mind-blowing shit.
Yeah, he's just so high level. But at sometimes I listen to his podcast and it's just too high level. It's like they're just talking about like concepts of infinity and how they relate to the universe. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm trying to pay my rent. You know what I mean? Like he's so far gone. He has the privilege to be able to kind of like humor these conversations a little bit. And it's fun to listen to, but when he goes in on specific approaches, he did a whole thing, part 1, 2, 3, how to angel invest.
Really?
Yeah, he was on his podcast, Naval.
Is it how to get rich?
No, it's how to angel invest.
I haven't seen that
It's
one.
great. It's great. And for a person that is like broke and like, I'm not like broke, but like I'm nowhere near the money of like I'm an angel investor, but it was still very interesting to listen to. Like how to choose the talent, how to like assess people.
He goes by character.
He goes by character, but he goes by
first.
the numbers and character. So it's like, if I believe in you, let's take a look at deep dive. Let's do our due diligence.
Exactly.
If I believe in
the
you.
character is the deal breaker for him. If you cannot trust the character, he will never invest.
By the way, you have the Naval has a thing called the Almanac, right? Which I've sent to my buddies a couple times. All my buddies that are like doing like not feeling their work and stuff
Mm-hmm.
and want to do like a career transition or something, like I'll send this thing to them. And it's the most clear-cut explanation of like, yo, you gotta fuck with what you're doing and like get out of the mindset of like, it really shows you this whole mindset we got sold into is rent your time to corporations, right?
Yes, whore out your time.
Whore out your time. And it
You
used
get
to be
paid.
even worse. Now it's like work-life balance.
40 hours.
Now it's 40 hours and work-life balance. Oh, I'm still, I'm working from Bali. You're still selling your time from Bali. But at least, the climate's good, right? It's better than what it used to be of like, people were so brainwashed back in the day where it's like, I worked 90 hours this week. I was like, oh, did you hear that? Like they would applaud, be like, I did 100-hour week. Like it's something to brag about, you know?
And you try to out
It's
do
like,
it.
I did a fucking, exactly. Last fucking Christmas, I pulled 105.
Worked 7 days straight.
I put 12 hours. Now that's a man right there. You know what I mean? Like,
How'd you come across the Naval Almanac? It's just a book.
when I listened to him on, it's on, Google it. It's on, it's PDF for free online.
It's available for free by Naval.
Yeah.
He doesn't want any money for it.
I have that shit bookmarked and I skimmed through it. I got my buddies to read it all the time. I love it, dude. I just love it. And it's so clear cut and just like, if you read it with an open mind, it should burst the bubble of like what this old system we really got sold into is, which is that whore out your time, right?
Yes. 100%.
Rather than be like, his whole thing is specific knowledge. Whatever you're truly interested in, whatever you're truly driven to learn about without a paycheck, fucking double down on that shit. Lean into that thing that you don't have to get a paycheck to actually like immerse yourself into. Because then you're gaining specific knowledge from that. And then you can get paid from specific knowledge, not as a function of the hours you put in, but as a project instead.
Yes, and he goes into depth on, so what you described, getting specific knowledge, translating that into wealth. This mechanism, he breaks down, what is wealth? What is money? Money comes from wealth. What is wealth? He breaks down that concept that I never understood. Money and wealth are different. So exactly what you said, specific knowledge.
Have you read it recently? I haven't read it recently. What did he say when it came to that mechanism? Do you remember?
So the mechanism is detailed in his video, How to Get Rich, which is 3 hours long. But essentially, it's the opposite of renting out your time. It's creating wealth creation machines. A company would be a good example of that. This podcast is reliant on your time, so it is not a wealth creation machine. But let's say you hire someone to sit in your shoes and do exactly what you want, and you set up all the rules for them. And then you can leave for a year and come back, and there has been wealth created. Maybe not monetary, but content, insights,
equity
interviews.
in what it is. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the distinction he focuses on a lot.
And just especially in like with regards to like all these type of things you could do, like let's say you're a carpenter, you love working with your hands, right? And you love building sheds, to make more money, you got to build more sheds, right? In the traditional, right? Assuming you don't make a business, hire a bunch of carpenters. Obviously, this is the business approach of it. But I'm talking about doing the thing yourself.
Yes.
I forget what he worded, but zero cost of scaling or something like that. That's why I doubled down so hard on the podcast. Because I was like, this is serving me in a way, even though I don't have any like advertisers, you know what I mean, or anything like that. By the way, if you want to support the show, patreon.com/the Immigrant Section. People don't support the show. If you fuck with the show, go to patreon.com/the Immigrant Section. Support this show, get behind the scenes content, all that shit. But the point is that like zero cost of scaling. So it's like if Rogan mentions me tomorrow, if I break it through the thing, or 5 years from now,
or tomorrow,
whatever the
way more likely than 5 years.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say that. I mean, you're being very generous right now when you say that. But 5 years, I say, is more realistic, right? I'm only 30. But like, let's say he does mention me tomorrow, and there's this giant spike of traffic, and my shit gets played and watched 100,000 times more than it currently is. It requires no extra work from me.
Absolutely.
That is zero cost of scaling. He says invest in something like that. This is why he was always pushing for app creation, software, SaaS, like
videos,
SAS,
media
creation. When I got like linked into Naval back in 2019 when I just kicked off the podcast, and when I read all this shit, I was like, oh, I can never stop, because the main thing he drives home is compound interest, right?
Yes,
that's the main point he drives home. And whatever you do, it's so easy to quit because the turning point has not quite happened in the
tipping
compound
point.
interest of the body of work that you're doing. So it's like maybe it's episode 209 that fucking just does something to the internet, and it just like this huge spike happens in traffic, and there's 208 other episodes for people to linger in, right? It's
Yes.
not one episode, one type deal. There's a body of work to fall back on.
And there's followers that are going to stick. There's fans that are going to be created. So you're right. You're building the infrastructure that will sustain rapid growth in the future when it does happen.
Exactly. So that's the reason. To be honest with you, Naval is actually one of the main reasons I never stopped.
Really?
Even though like I had minimal growth, very like I pictured this thing go whoosh. I'm like, man, immigrant section, bro, immigrant.
No, it's not
You know,
linear. I don't think it'll be linear.
No. It's still like it's been like it's grown, but it's like I think there's gonna be that exponential point.
I'm 100% sure about it. If you think, I'm sure about it.
Okay, then I definitely think. Then I gotta say I think.
But let's take more. Let's talk more about the Naval thing, the zero cost of reproduction, because it's a really useful idea, and it only is possible because the gatekeepers have dissolved, and this is something I've heard him say. Gatekeepers, as in you trying to start comedy 20 years ago, you couldn't have just created a YouTube account and did your own thing. You had to go through
The powers to be had to be like, you are worthy. Step forward.
the gatekeepers.
Yes.
If you wanted to be a journalist, you had to go to an agency.
Washington
Now-
Post had to be like, yes.
Now you just create an account, 5 seconds. Education, you have to go to university, and that's not fully dissolved, but it's dissolving. So this is all enabled by the technology that we're witnessing. People like us have literally witnessed it. When we were in primary school, there was no idea of a podcast sitting and talking to someone, putting it.
It's like Howard Stern radio. It's purely radio.
Yeah.
In your car, you get it.
And now it's so common and so nice, and it's changing the world. So I really enjoy it. And that's where I'm heading next. Not podcasting per se, but something as per the Naval principle, something easy to reproduce, something that can scale, something that can create wealth.
I love it. Why don't you start a podcast? You like the way you brought these books, you might as well start a podcast in this shit. You were so like, I feel like, do you have a lot of books?
I do have a lot, but I try to give them away once I'm done. And my only request, if you take one of them, if you don't read it by the end of the year, give it to someone who will next year.
Propagating the knowledge.
Yes.
I love it. Do you fuck with Yuval Noah Harari?
I have tried. I think it was a little too advanced to me. I went halfway through the book, and then I watched
Sapiens. Yeah.
I watched the summary of the book online to just get it. It's one of those books that will literally increase your IQ by a point or two.
Yeah, I'm like, man, that needs to be in the high school curriculum.
Yes.
It can be in the high school curriculum. You know, I listened to it as an audio book, dictated by him. So it was fucking sick because he's reading his own writing. But like, man, that shit is just so comprehensive in one thing. I'm like, this is like, people could fucking, this makes more sense to worship
Yes.
than any other thing, you know?
Absolutely. And he has a segment on YouTube on the recent events in the Ukraine, and his understanding of the world is way beyond just assembling facts together. It's a deep understanding.
You know how he achieves it?
I assume by a lot of reading and thinking and reflecting.
2 hours of meditation daily.
He said that?
He said his whole life changed when someone forced him to come to a 10-day meditation retreat or something like that.
Yuval or Naval?
No, not Naval. Naval's
So
probably
Naval
done
does that too.
that. Naval does that, yeah. But Yuval Noah Harari,
Yes.
that's what happened with him. The way he was able to like, that motherfucker took all of the teachings from biology, astronomy,
Yes.
social sciences, history, fucking just,
Synthesize all that.
just meditated deeply and then combined everything in a way we just haven't seen. Like literally, it looks like it was generated by AI, Sapiens.
Yes.
It's so comprehensive and so many like branches of our human evolution. It's like, dude, this doesn't look like a human put this together.
I think so too. If an alien species studied us,
It would be Sapiens.
and they would label it as sapien, and it would be this
It would be this book.
And it's a really good summary. Like, I
The
think,
description of money is what I was like, wow, no, I have never even read this. You know another book called Guns, Germs, and Steel?
I've heard of it. I haven't read it. I
Yeah.
heard it's a mind-blowing book as
I
well.
have it here. You could borrow it if you want.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
down.
Yeah. It's dense too.
Gerald Diamond, something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
But it's dense, but it's fucking awesome. It's like the premise is like the societies that are leading the world now, for the most part, are the ones who got exposed to gut germs first. So the ones who dipped from hunter-gatherer, became agriculture first, started living with a bunch of cows and sheep around them, started getting the germs of them, getting sick, dying, but then in generations building immunity. You know what I mean? The ones who had access to metal and stuff like that. So guns, germs, and steel. So then when they started going to all these other like places, now they have like facilitated themselves with all this innovation because of like raw materials. And now they're going to these uncolonized people who are still living full hunter-gatherer, and they don't have the immunity they built. So they all die right away, right when they arrive. So it's like the people that got access to like started living in like agricultural city town styles first, their immunity is actually increased way more. And then they eventually started they're like, why is New York way more advanced than like Papua New Guinea? Like this is like, is it that the Papua New Guinea people are inherently less, they have a lower capacity?
Unlikely.
Like this is kind of like the idea that this is the hypothesis they go off of. And it's fucking sick, but it's super dense.
What about the steel part? What is that?
I forget. I read it a while back, and to be honest, I only read half of it, and I was like, this other half, I'll leave this for a fucking flight to Australia.
Half is good. Don't let not finishing a book stop you from the next one. That's from Naval too. Read it, pick up one page. You've done, throw the book, buy a new one. It's
That's
$30.
another thing too, man. That
He
guy
changed the way I read books.
exactly because he says, read what you love until you love to read.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Which I
exactly.
fucked with because I used to always be like, I gotta finish it. I'm nothing if I don't finish it.
Yes, and you feel guilty if you have half a book and you don't get the next one.
He's
but
like,
you
I
never
give it a
read
chapter. I give it 2-3 pages. Done. You know?
Yeah. He's always reading like 10, 20 books at a time. He might read one chapter and throw the book. I adopted that philosophy. I really like it.
It actually made me think of his backstory. He says that his mom worked many jobs. So after school, he would just be in the library all the time, just killing time, reading everything.
Yes.
I love these backstories that are like, they just make sense. You know?
Makes sense.
It's like a movie.
He was in a sketchy area.
He's
I think
a
in New
nerd.
York.
Yeah, that's such an easy kid to pick on. Be like, this guy's always in the fucking library, man. Next thing, it's like
Look at him
millions
now.
of people in the world are like, Naval said this. So I just sold my house because Naval said it's time to go into NFTs. All hail Naval.
There's also posted last week, the creator of Ethereum, who was in our university when we were in university. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Vitalik Buterin. Check him out. He entered 2009. And
Same year as us, huh?
And the next year, he won $100,000 grant from the Peter Thiel Foundation, one of the PayPal mafia. And then he went and developed Ethereum with that money and ditched school. He's never graduated from Waterloo, but he was walking the same hallways we were during our time.
And he's like a billionaire probably, right?
And there's a podcast of Naval interviewing him. So that you should check out.
Is it good?
I haven't gone all the way through, but so far it's amazing. Like, every word said is...
Is it absorbable or is it like just next level, like tech-to-tech conversation?
To be honest, sometimes it goes above my head. But
yeah, Naval does that a lot. It's like, he'll be like, yeah, it's a zero-sum game.
I'm like,
He loves saying
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm just like,
but I like it.
I'm just
I'm
like,
gonna
oh
say
shit,
it.
modular. Okay, that's just modular as fuck right there.
No, it's definitely someone I'd love to have as a mentor, and you can all have him as a mentor by just following what he says.
By the way, having worked in a bunch of different startups, you have total CEO startup vibe. Are you gonna kick off your own thing? Is it like a dream you have? Are you working on some shit?
It used to be, but after listening to Naval enough, I really questioned if I really want that, or do I really want the prestige from having a company and the power.
Exactly. That's a good question.
So I don't think so. Maybe in the future, if something aligns with to answer your question of why I don't have a podcast, I don't have enough specific knowledge in a field to warrant a platform to share that yet.
Gotcha. I don't know. I think you're counting yourself short, to be honest, dude. Because a lot of this stuff, when I listen to a podcast, I'm not looking like me specifically. Mm-hmm. And it turns out, I told you I'm going to this PodFest in Orlando. It turns out the most popular podcasts are comedy and meditation. So not necessarily fact, truth-seeking podcasts.
Got it.
These are entertainment and wellness, right? And you literally are like, all your shit is in just like since I've known you, it's been like evolving, self-improvement as a human and working out and fucking deadlifting and traveling. Like, it's that shit. You got that. Who's the guy that did the 4-hour work week?
Tim Ferriss.
Yeah, you got that Tim Ferriss vibe.
I really love Tim Ferriss.
Yeah, you
And
got that vibe, dude.
Thank you.
I'm not saying
Appreciate it.
like, dude, start a podcast. Everyone start podcast. Because you said once the gatekeepers went away,
Yes.
it was sick because now we don't need them. But as a result,
The
there was
noise.
100 of us behind this door that 3 could come through, and the door got hit. And now we're all like, ah, you know?
Yes.
And 80 had no business through the door.
100%.
20 possibly had they should be through that door and then get weeded out, but 80 had no business. And now it's like, how do you? We're all running forward, right?
It increases the level of noise.
Exactly.
99 out of 100 podcasts are not going to be there in 5 years. 90% are crap, but it's okay. The market will tell you what's working. The views are your litmus test.
That's money. Yeah, it's like sales, right?
The money,
Yeah.
if the money is coming, then it's working. So don't worry. Let it be that way, and the free market will take care of what's good's going to rise on the top, thanks to the algorithms that we all trust and love. We don't.
But yeah, exactly. But that's not. See, now the algorithms. See, that's the tough thing, right? Because the algorithms don't. It's a tough spot. The algorithms
They're not
don't
there
necessarily
yet.
prioritize what's good. They prioritize what maximize view time. And if you're watching something that keeps cutting, and like you never really have a chance to exit, then in the end, you finish the 15-minute video, you would have exited if it was a little slower cut. You know, they're editing it in a way to cater towards lower attention spans.
100%.
But is it better content? Who's to say? People watch longer, whereas somebody does a 15-minute video that like the 10% of people that actually watched it fuck with it heavy. But the algorithm's going to be like, hey, you know, we're trying to keep people on the platform so we can show ads. First and foremost, that is the main directive of all of these people.
100%.
Is to keep them on here as long as possible. So that's what they push. They push the thing that makes people watch. So it's like, so it may not be like, this is my story. What it may be like, don't leave this video before the end, because at the end I tell you what blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It might be.
It's
so
not the
hook,
better. It's not the better. Better is not the right
It's
word.
the better. It's like the more algorithm tailored content. You know, and it's tough. It's tough. It's like as a guy who like didn't grow up in this evolving YouTube landscape, it's difficult because now I feel like I'm playing catch up all the time, and the algorithm's changing all the time. Like I didn't know this, but it's like if you don't like this video, I would rather you click dislike
because it's
than
an
nothing.
engagement metric.
Exactly. People don't realize that, you know.
Yeah, so
it's
dislike this video.
Exactly.
No.
Like if you fuck with the video, if you fuck with this, leave a comment, say thumbs up. That you're helping the content more than you know. Like that is the way to do it. You know what I mean? You don't have to go and do this and that. Just hit a like, go engage with it in some way. Even dislike that, people go, oh fuck, people.
So-
this garnered an emotional response.
Yes.
Show it to more people.
For sure. So anything you don't like, just specify it out in the comments, multiple comments if needed.
Yeah,
I really
exactly.
want to understand what
Get
you
in
don't
the
like.
conversation.
Yeah.
In the comments. Look at this guy just parking hard out. I just love watching people struggle parking up here. Oh, fuck. Oh, I wish I had a camera that just showed the parking situation up there, but fuck it. My guy. Okay. Oh, we never even got into fucking Syria, Kurdistan, bro. It's the immigrant section. We got to get into it.
For sure.
My guy, half Syrian, half Kurdish, just
Yes.
looks Arab as fuck, you know?
Thank you, I guess.
Yeah. You do. I mean, let's admit it, right?
I respect your opinion for sure.
Me and my guy, we're both guys that balded early. So that's why we could connect from a young age.
I don't think yours was too early.
Yours
man.
was tragic, tragically early.
I think it was.
But it made you become a man faster, though, right?
Yeah, it's
Did it
not
not?
tragic because I don't struggle with it at all or think about it anymore because I balded when I was 19 and 20.
Yeah. That's
In-
what I'm saying.
in engineering
That's-
school.
Yeah. I mean, as a result, you know, I did a bit about it a while back of like, look at how proud this guy is. Oh my God. This
see
guy
it.
just parked and he's literally going like this with the chick he's at. But so many engineers will enter with hair and leave without hair. Like I did a bit like, where the prof is like, you know how they go, look to your left, look to your right. One of you will not be graduating.
Oh, you did
It's
that
like,
with the
look to your
bald?
left, look to your right. Both of you will be bald. It's like a
I like
chick,
that.
like fuck.
I like that.
But it will, the stress of it and then like the pressure and like, I don't know what it is.
I mean, statistically, 50%.
Testosterone.
50% of men are gonna bald at some point in some level. So if you're expediting your stress in this few years of engineering that you may not necessarily like, enjoy, or love, then maybe it will affect your hair. But I just want to talk about Jeff Bezos, the richest bald guy in the world.
Oh shit!
Why doesn't he plant hair and go to Turkey or India or I mean
Turkey. Let's just be honest. It's Turkey.
pay that
right? We know the
5,000.
game. Yeah.
Yes.
He'll
Why
get to
why
10,000
doesn't he
off
do it? I've wondered about that.
Because he beat the game already.
Right?
He beat the game. You know?
It's a flex of some level.
Bro, did you see him? He's on like testosterone re-enhancement. He's jacked.
No, not anymore.
He's
He
with
used to
women
be.
a third of his age. Oh yeah.
He's calmed down on the bench
He's
press.
going to space. That's the fucking motherfuckers in space constantly. These niggas in these fucking depots can't even pee. This guy's in space. Like, hold tight, Johnny. You'll be soon. But I mean, why would you get hair at that point? He's in his 60s, isn't he?
Maybe he's 60, but most affluent people who have the means for it end up getting hair because we never find out about them. Like Johnny Depp, for example, or Tom Cruise, you wouldn't even notice the balding because they will tackle it. They will address it immediately.
Because it's like the cost associated with it, with their career, is way too high. Like you can, same with what's his name, fucking Matthew McConaughey. He's a very famous case study of like that guy was like got hair plugs and was like dealing with that, because he's like his whole thing. If Matthew McConaughey goes bald, it's like Bruce Willis, bro. Bruce Willis, you could clearly see what baldness did to his career.
It ruined it.
It didn't ruin it, but it changed all the roles he could get pretty much.
But he's still kicking ass. Right?
Yeah, but he dipped for like 20 years.
Wait,
Same
Bruce-
with fucking Bruce Willis, dude.
Die Hard.
Die Hard. Yeah.
Okay. I thought
As
he's
the
always
diehards
been
go
bald.
on, you could just see the shit moving back. You know, the only thing dying was his hairline. You know, like that's the shit moving back. What's his name in Pulp Fiction? The guy opposite Samuel Jackson
I don't recall.
from Greece. Man,
John Travolta.
John Travolta, crazy like another. So many of the guys in Hollywood, balding issues, like you said, they have like crazy balding or hair technicians and fucking hair science in Hollywood.
Yeah, half men will bald eventually. So I think it's actually crazy that we don't see it more often because a lot of people are tackling it. But you know what? Do what you like. If it bothers you enough, plant the hair. If it get over it, get over it. Like there's no rules. There's no wrong decisions. Just do what feels right for you.
But you keep in mind, it's easy for you to say because you're over 6 feet. You're like 6'2" or some shit, right?
I'm 6.
You're okay. So.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers in the 6 foot range, baldness, like whatever, right? You know,
True.
I mean, right? You're telling a 5'4" guy, just deal with baldness. He's like, fuck you.
No,
I'm going to Turkey right now, dude.
So no, he can go
It is
to
tougher.
Turkey.
I mean, let's be honest, right?
It is tougher
Height
for sure.
gives baldness. You're like,
Also,
you can't have it all, right?
Less people can physically see it when you're higher up.
Exactly. They're just like, that guy's got a thick beard. You're like, keep focusing on that, you short prick.
Oh yeah, and balding without a beard is another challenge. Also, we're lucky with the beards.
Yeah,
The kick-ass.
alhamdulillah for that, man. God
Alhamdulillah.
bless me, man. It went in the top, it must come in the bottom.
Exactly.
Call it hair math.
Hair math.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I just have a hair distribution problem. Like there is hair
no,
everywhere,
I do a bit,
but just
I'm
not
like,
at the right
exactly.
places.
I gotta have the same amount of hairs on my head. Doesn't matter where they go.
It's a supply chain problem.
This guy's such an engineer. I love it. Actually, let me say this, and I will get back to. I do some questions at the end about your background, but I actually want to know like what is Amazon. 1 day shipping is like that's already like around. I think I've gotten 1 day shipping with a bunch of
In
stuff.
most major cities in Canada,
Same
yes.
day. Yeah. What is the next thing?
So shipping wise, the obvious progression, there was 2 day shipping, 1 day shipping, and then
Same day.
exactly, and then
1 hour, 2 hours.
2 hour, which is Prime Now, and 1 hour. That's the progression. It's not going to come to every city, but New York, for example, has it for a selection of all the major cities in North America. The US specifically have the 2 hour delivery
Yeah.
on a selection of items. So that's the natural progression.
So that's like what, paper towels, like the home
high velocity items, exactly.
high
What-
velocity ones that are needed constantly. Like
yes,
what?
the ones that cycle through a lot. For example, new release of FIFA 2022, and you know you're going to sell 200,000.
Yeah.
So you can move those to the critical locations where within that,
to service that like population.
like
center.
downtown New York,
Yeah.
because you can't have a warehouse in those places.
Yeah.
So sometimes we're literally, the truck is your storage.
Oh no
So
way.
It's very complex logistically to do 1 hour delivery. It's
Yeah,
very,
dude, that's
very
what.
complex.
Yeah, I'm saying, how the fuck do you even do that? Because like, you wouldn't be able to stop. It would be. This is the ultimate application of this fucking lean startup shit. Like, it's maximum lean. There's no depot. There's no. It's like going from the manufacturer. It's coming off the line. And they're just putting it in a car and driving it an address.
Exactly. It's really tough, and Toronto doesn't have it until now. Although it will be coming at some point. I don't know when. And the next progression of that is more convenient. So the two things Amazon will always do is get you things cheaper and faster. It's that simple. That's what we focus on. So think of like a drone coming and dropping something because you don't want to wait 3 days.
Yeah. Is that illegally? Does Canada allow drones to deliver yet?
I don't know the legal aspect, but in the UK we have...
This is active in the UK.
This is active in the UK. They have the approvals from the equivalent of the aviation authority of...
Yeah, the airspace.
I haven't heard about anything like that in Canada, but I won't be surprised. Like, it's the natural progression of things. The copters, or what do you call it, the drones are going to be so cheap, and they are already, that everyone can afford one. So the regulation has to catch up.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Same way with cryptocurrencies.
Same way with autopilot in city with fucking Teslas and shit like that.
Yes.
Like-
Well, tell me about that. What is it allowed in big cities?
It's allowed on the highway and stuff. You know what annoys me about the autopilot shit? It's like all of the hardware and all of the capability is there, but all of like the municipalities are like, you know what I mean? Like I think in China they allow it fully.
Yeah.
But like here they're like, here what pisses me off, like in Toronto specifically, they'll set up speed cameras everywhere to give you tickets like crazy, but they won't allow autopilot driving that will just like, that is like statistically much safer than a human operating the vehicle. And for sure will not get that ticket. So it's like, it's almost like they're exploiting this final couple of years before autopilot goes live. Will they like get speeding cameras from everywhere? Because the autopilot will not go in excess of what that, they'll know the speeding camera's there. They'll know what this, and you cannot get a ticket.
I'm sure.
Unless you overdrive it and you fuck yourself up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why they do that, but it could be exactly what you said. Like, we're going to lose a source of revenue.
Yeah.
Capitalism. Yeah, but I didn't know it's not allowed. I'm going to be driving my first Tesla tomorrow or Monday.
It's allowed on the highway, but you gotta have your hand on the steering wheel to prove that there's like a human sitting there.
Just
But then there's
tape
like
your hand and sleep.
there's easy workarounds. Oh, people just put a little weight thing, a U-shaped weight on the bottom.
Really?
Yeah, something like. People do a bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah, there's even the seat belts. There's just a seatbelt buckle without the thing. You pop it so you don't hear the noise. Beep beep beep. You know what I
people
mean?
have that.
Yes.
Yeah. See
like
that
seat belt without the belt. It's
that
just
I
the
think
thing.
is hilarious because that's almost like natural selection.
Like, you're putting the
Imagine
effort.
ordering it, clipping it in so you don't hear the beep, and then just getting into an accident and being wiped off the gene pool. You know what I mean?
I'm
That's
sure it
natural,
happens.
dude. That's natural selection.
I'm sure it happened.
You
and
know?
it will continue to happen.
Like I get it for like low speeds if you're doing 50 kilometers and lower, but it's like my car, if I'm doing 30 and lower, it doesn't even beep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but once I get to that 40, 50, where it's like I'm going to run an errand, I'll just fucking put the seatbelt on.
Exactly.
You know?
The sound is annoying enough to make you do the right thing. That's the point.
But what I find interesting is I found domestic cars will always shut the fuck up. Like American-made cars would shut the fuck up eventually. But I found like Japanese and German, they do different. Cause I had all the types of cars, and I'm like really into cars. Like the Germans will never stop.
Really?
It'll never stop.
I've never noticed.
Yeah.
That.
Like the BMW would. I forget if my BMW stop. I know my Golf will never stop. But I remember the Sentra would, my Nissan Sentra. You get like 4 ding-dings, like fuck,
And
he's
then
dead.
just go die.
yeah, he's dead. Fuck. And I know like Impalas and like American cars, a lot of them will stop because you can see Americans easily complaining about this fucking thing won't stop dinging.
Do you think that's why?
Yeah, 100%, dude. I was involved in automotive engineering, bro. The amount, you'll love this, dude. The amount of engineering that I was involved on cars where it's the Euro model and the American model.
Okay.
And I'm with Chrysler hearing their like thought process with engineering. Like I used to make something called diesel exhaust. Diesel cars, they pollute so much, their exhaust. You have to spray this ammonia fluid called diesel exhaust fluid, DEF. It's called AdBlue, whatever. They spray it in there
on the
exhaust stream.
Okay.
Before it hits the environment, it
So it's
reduces
like
a lot of the harmful nitrates to like just nitrous dioxide. You
Is
know
that-
what I mean? Or N2. Like it makes it benign gases for the atmosphere.
question, is that related to a catalytic converters, or is that something else that they put on the exhaust to just filter out?
The catalytic converter does that for gas cars.
Got it.
You know,
Diesel
and I think
equivalent.
what it does is it'll capture unburned fuel and like kind of reintroduce it to burn.
I don't know.
Yeah, it has a bunch of platinum in it, so it gets robbed all the time. That's all I know. People rob catalytic converters, but on diesel cars, they have these things for big trucks. They always have two tanks. When you open up the gas cap of a big truck,
Yes.
you'll see two filler tubes, not one for gas, two.
Got it.
One for diesel, one for AdBlue, right? So they have to make the tank in America much bigger than the tank for Europe, because the range of a small tank is 3,000 kilometers, right? The range of a big tank is much larger, right? In Europe, they assume a European can just, once their AdBlue is up, they'll refill it. But in America, they assume that the Americans cannot do it, so they make the quantity enough that it matches the service interval. So anytime you go in for an oil change is the exact amount of time that you should be running at AdBlue, so the technician can fill it for you, because they're like, these people are retarded. You know what I mean? Like it's literally in the engineering. We're making a tank twice as big because they can't be trusted. And the failure modes that the F-150s get in America are like, engineers have lessons learned list, right?
Yes.
The failure modes you see in America, like America is where you come to make a product to truly validate it in the field, because the failure modes they see are like insane. You don't see this shit in Europe, where it's like, you know what I mean? Like here, like someone will fully fill the AdBlue with gas, even though the nozzle size does not allow for gas. So they literally went and got a fucking funnel. Because, you know what I mean? Like,
I can see that.
You know what I mean? Like,
I can see
how did he even get in? Like these are the fail. Like, and that actually I really do miss that part of it. Like
Which part?
the just actually working to see a car coming together. Because I'm a big car guy, right? But like once you get bogged down by the bureaucracy of the bullshit,
Which is very quickly.
very quick. Because Chrysler's such a big company that it's like no one. Like we're a supplier. We're like, hey guys, so you said that you guys said you wanted to add a clip because one of the harnesses is bouncing in the field. So now we're going to add a clip so we can lock that harness in, right? Very simple change.
In theory.
In theory.
I mean, in
Chrysler's
practice,
like, okay, let's just, we're going to do another design review. Okay, third design review. Very simple change. Okay, can you guys capture the CN, the change notice, the engineering change notice? Like, and the engineering change requires 6 signatures. And there's always 2 guys you can never get a hold of. You know what I mean? Who are like involved with so many things that once you got these 4 that are like your peers,
Yes.
it takes forever to get these 2, and then these 2 have to consult these 4 to be like, you saw this, it's good. And then these 4 are suddenly like, well, let's do another design review. And it's like, fuck, dude. Like no one wants to be that signature where a failure happens in the field.
Liability is on you.
And liabilities, no. And that was the nightmare. Like 15,000 employees, like everyone's a number. Like I was like, ugh, this is.
Do you miss any parts of being in a corporate life, working with cars? What do you enjoy most in your corporate life, if I may ask?
I like going to manufacturing sites and just seeing their process. I like dealing with the manufacturing manager and the manufacturing engineer, because now they have a real process. This is like the real engineering. We're all I worked in a satellite office, sales and engineering. We're doing design reviews and stuff. But things come to life at the manufacturing plant. A lot of the process, this thing you designed is all paper and CAD. And then we cut the tool. And now we're going to go blow mold there. And now you have the process. Now you have the real boys, Now we're cutting an ugly part that's too thin on this wall, too thick on this wall. Now we're going to dial it in. How are we going to dial it in? Like, I love seeing that shit because it was like, oh, it's coming in too thin. We're going to run it again. Like, it's all like quick. It's happening right now, versus the slow iterative process of being like, all right, we have a design review next week. Obviously, we're all Thanksgiving, so we're gonna, and then we have a lot of reviews the week after. So let's touch base in 3 weeks. And you're like,
This is I relate to you a lot. I used to be in operations, and now I'm in the more corporate, design reviews for 6 weeks kind of thing. But in operations, it's exactly like that. We have 300,000 orders this week. Good luck. It has to exit the facility.
I like
Things
that.
has to move.
yeah, go. It's military.
The line is
style.
not fast. The packing station, the
It's
planning.
fires.
Yeah.
You're like a fucking, what's it called?
Firefighter.
Firefighter. You're
Yes,
literally a
yes,
firefighter.
Yes, it's operation.
Yeah.
It's real. Now, and I prefer now because my life is much better when I don't need to do that 24/7.
Yeah.
Now it's just relaxed. I'm sick. I take a day off. It's so nice. I need to take my birthday a week off. I do it because things are slow in corporate. You're working with products and insights and reports. So I prefer this world.
Bro, I remember, dude, when you were working at Vancouver that first time.
Yes, and
Bro, you were
came
like-
to visit.
You were
remember?
like broken out, bro. You were like, I could see the physical result of stress. It just you look like, I'm like, man, they're working. You're working crazy hours. The pressure is insane. Thank
Yeah.
God you've put yourself into something,
Yeah, and
sustainable.
the biggest mistake I've done, that was 2015, like our first year after graduating. Biggest mistake I did was try to excel.
Yeah.
Because I thought, I naturally assumed the way we were raised, especially with the immigrant vibes, you have to excel. It's
Yeah,
natural.
yeah.
But it's not necessarily the best thing for your health
Yes.
and family
Yes.
and relationships.
Social life.
And those things are, social life is part of health. Your physical fitness is part of health. Your soul being at peace is part of health. So that's what I prioritize now. So it's okay if I don't excel at work. It's completely
Because you're
fine.
thinking about longevity now.
I'm thinking about my health.
Yeah.
If my health preserved means I lose my job, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's a net positive.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Previously, it was no. I can't fail. I
Yeah,
can't. This deliverable. I have to.
It must.
So-
4 a.m. And the fucking what's it called? BA, what's it called? The banking guys. Actuarial, not actuarial.
CPA.
All the guys that do investment banking, IB.
Yes.
All those guys, like the trench people,
Yeah.
they take that same like I gotta excel shit and they murder them. Those guys that go to like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, they're working till 4 a.m. on decks. And they gotta be back in at 7 a.m.
I hate it. I don't like it. I think it's one of the most toxic ideas we're programmed with. A lot of them are useful. It's good to seek education and excel in general, but most of the early 20s people I've met, especially those who excelled in university, are struggling with their making long-lasting relationships that are meaningful and fulfilling, staying in touch with family, having a good relationship with your parents, with your brother, with your sister. So that's my only advice is don't take it so seriously. Health comes first always. Because without health, nothing matters anymore. What are you going to do 40 years old and you can't walk because you broke your back and you have $1 million in the bank? What are you going to do with that $1 million? You can't even travel.
Imagine you're doing chemotherapy and someone just sends you an email like, can you forward me the meeting invite? And you're like trying to get a laptop, get on Wi-Fi so you can forward a meeting. You're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yes, exactly.
Right?
And that's why I have a lot of respect for someone who does what they love. When I talk about you to my friends, like when I'm telling them about the show, I always give the story. He used to be in engineering and now he's doing, I'm sure not everything you do you love. There's administrative work, there's annoying work.
The editing this annoys the hell out of me. That's why I was trying to get a producer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if some of the things you're doing bring you joy, that's enough. It'll
It's
never
most.
be.
It's most. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
phenomenal. For me, it's like it used to be 10% of my operations. Now it's 30, 40%.
Yeah.
So maybe next year it'll be a bit more until I get to a place like you.
Carving out your life so to slowly get 100%.
Yeah, close to
Get
100.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
You converge probably.
Like, if
at
you
that.
enjoy-
You're not going to love everything. Yeah.
If you enjoy 60% of what you do, I think that's a win.
The majority. Yeah.
I
The
think
over
that's-
50% rule,
yeah.
right?
I mean, nobody enjoys flossing.
Yeah.
Do you?
Dude, I know I'm dodging something I really need to be doing when I go, I should floss. That's when I know, like, it's like my taxes are due. I haven't flossed in a while.
Yes.
That's when I know I'm fucking like, dude, procrastinating like crazy is when I'm flossing.
Oh, man. I got the water flossers. They help. But 6 months after it, I go to the dentist. He's like, yeah, it's not a replacement. You still need the regular flossing. I'm like, what's the point?
Fuck? Yeah.
Why do we do this?
Dude,
But it's
Dental
much
shit.
easier. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend the water flosser. It just sprays water in your mouth
Okay, dude.
and it dislodges everything. And
Yeah,
you don't have.
I'm not gonna get it, bro.
I'll get you one.
Yeah, no, I'm not. If you got to do both, fuck it.
You can do the regular flossing once every week if you have a water flosser. You don't have to do it every day.
Really? Is it good?
It's really easy to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
feels
it's
nice
more satisfying
for sure.
or less barrier of entry.
I've never since I got it. Every time I brush, I floss for 30 seconds and then I brush.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm gonna get out. Dude, we're learning everything.
Because you know
here.
when you brush, there's sometimes small bits of food that kind of like you're brushing, but you know you didn't really get it.
Yeah.
You're just going through the motions so you can
brushing
go
over
to
it.
sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
This one, you just dislodge everything quickly and then you brush.
Oh, you brush after.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, that makes sense, I guess. You're just like packing the food down.
Yes.
You're like, this is just compressing it. I can tell, but I'm doing it. You're right.
It works. It works.
It's so funny how we just fucking convince ourselves. Half the shit we just need to convince ourselves about. I'm doing it.
You basically decide deep inside what you want to do and then you rationalize it to yourself. That's life.
Yeah.
And we don't even know where the thoughts we're having now, I don't know where they're coming from. I literally don't know.
I was talking just another podcast where I was like, do you ever want to, and this ties to you nicely, where it's like, I want to get something. It's on Amazon. The most reason I go on Amazon is because the review system.
It's good.
Yeah. It's comprehensive. There's negative. I look at the top worst, the top good, that I just want a community-based review system, and Amazon has the best one,
It's fun fact about that. When Bezos suggested it in the late 90s, it was very difficult to sell the idea that we're going to allow negative reviews. It never used to be the case. If you go online, nobody puts negative 1-star reviews on their own product.
No, of course not.
But Bezos is like, guys, we're going to be honest. If it's good, we tell them it's good. If it's bad, we tell them it's bad, and they decide. And it's patented, I think. Even the one-click purchase on the right, that
Buy
friction.
now. I use it all the time.
It's patented also.
Really?
That's why nobody else uses it.
Really?
Yeah, it's frictionless. One button instead of 4
How the
clicks.
fuck do they patent that? Like a
you
streamlined
have-
single button.
If you have good enough lawyers, you can patent your name. I don't
Yeah.
know. You can patent the immigrant section, so nobody can use these two
Oh,
words.
I'm working that as we see. No, not at all. Dude, yeah, but like sometimes I'll know want an item and like I'm scrolling through the reviews and I see a bad one. I'm like, it's like it came broken. I'm like, there's always a faulty part,
Yes.
right? No process is perfect.
Exactly.
And then I don't want it. I'm just honing in on all the look at this. Look at this shit. Fuck it. I'm not
Nice.
getting, you decide in advance.
So do you look at the stars or do you go and read the reviews only if it's a lot of stars? Or how do you go about
No,
that?
I don't trust the star system, especially after like Google reviews too, because it's like I always look at most recent. That's important. I'm like, what's happening these last 3 months of these orders, right? Because maybe they did some engineering change. Like I was looking at one where it's like, I just got a puppy.
Nice. I saw
Someone, JD's girlfriend, she recommended
a puppy.
a puppy treat on Amazon.
okay.
She sends the link. Link is like 4.5 stars from thousands of orders. And then I go look at the most recent. They're like, don't get it. These doubled in size. The puppy can't chew these. The last like 40 ones were like, these got too big. And I'm like, see, so I'm not going to. The overall 4.5 score is covering the entire history of this product, right? But you got to look at what's happening, what has shifted in the meantime. And Google reviews too. Google, so many people will start businesses that are fucked. Like I've worked for businesses that are the worst, but they have a great Google review. Because when you go in there, they have people all the time going like, do good reviews, do good 5-star reviews, leave one line. Like they got an army of people doing that to dilute the negativity, which is like, and then when you find the negativity, it's always a full paragraph of exactly, and all the positivities, one line. Great, the best, great business, so trustworthy and transparent. 100 of those.
Review fraud is one thing both Google and Amazon are working very hard on. But you remind me, there's a website online, just Google, or we'll put it in the show notes. You put in the product with
Don't
the
tell me
link.
what to put in the show notes.
I'll send it to you and you decide what you want to do.
You put in the product?
You put in the product and we'll tell you the percentage likely that there's fraud in these bunch of reviews. So if you see like 1,000, they're all 4.5 star, you throw it there, it'll tell you 30% are fake reviews. So then you can decide. Because you're right.
Yeah.
Everyone's incentivized to keep their reviews up. And they do that sometimes by really bad ways.
I have an inner barometer of that fakeness thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, of
You
course, bro.
read from the text, right? From the
Oh,
words?
I scroll. Like, dude, this freaking this charity. We could wrap up on this pretty much. But this charity reached out to me. They reached out to all these content creators last Ramadan. They're like, Ramadan is coming. Oh my God, we're going to collect money for water wells in Bangladesh or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And they started sending all this, like, I forget what it's called, like, and you go on the website and it's like a little African girl, like, starving and all this shit. And once they start going in the back and forth, first of all, the part that struck me was we get a 10% cut of all of, we as the whatever you want to call it, as a content creator, we're supposed to make original content to plug this thing. Guys, this year, Ramadan, alhamdulillah, it's here, man. It's all about giving back. So I'm working with an initiative to get water wells to Bangladesh. Okay. And you get a 15% cut. I'm like, if I'm getting 15% at the very end
Imagine
of this,
what they're
getting 90. No, none of this money's making it. And I go Google them. And their reviews are like, again, 4.1. Okay.
You want to say the name or?
I forget the name. Okay. I forget the iHack or something like that, which is ironic. Like international humanity, blah, blah, blah. I forget. But they do all of this. They take your picture. They add it to a nice Photoshop post you're supposed to make on Instagram with a link. Everyone gets dedicated links so they can track the money. And I was like, it was so involved on that level. And we get the cut back. I started going look at the reviews. The reviews were from the receiving bodies at all of the places. They're like, we have been in court with them since 2017, have yet to receive the Lebanon explosion. They got donations for that. Remember the Lebanon port explosion?
Yes, yes.
They're like, we have never received the money. They always tell us this. No one has ever received the money from these people.
Oh my God.
It's a pure
That's
scam.
Bad.
It's a pure scam.
That is horrible.
And they're on a WhatsApp group with 10 people. Inshallah, guys, we're going to raise 20.
I respect a good scam, but when you're doing it with donations on the pretense of helping people, it's like a different level of shit. Like, scam me on this book and try and I'll respect your hustle, you know.
Tell me how to get rich, and it doesn't really tell you how to get rich.
Okay, sure, have my, but that's just next level.
The most fucked up part was they would send you the videos. They would cut videos where it's like, you say, guys, I'm Bangladesh this, and then they take that and they add, dude, this sad and fucking guy just walking 40 feet to get water. The saddest propaganda shit. I'm like, this is fucked. You guys, and we're in a big WhatsApp group with all these creators. I'm like, I left the thing and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. But I'm like, and then I see all these other creators like, guys, I'm with the iHack thing. And it's like, I'm like,
we should expose their ass.
That's such a fucking scam. You know, they're going to come after me now. That's big money I'm getting in the way of, bro.
Man, another one we should talk about is United Way. I remember when we were working in construction, there'll be donations campaign at the end, and everyone has to donate. And then on every dollar you donate, the actual donations are 5 to 10 cents, and 90 goes to the company.
Administrative cost.
Between commission like you, administrative, blah, blah. So it's, in general, anytime you want to donate or do good, it's always better to hand it to the person you think needs it as close as possible. Like, if you know people in that country, if you know people in your own country, send them the money, even if it loses 10, 20%, but don't go through any organization, even the best well-meaning ones.
Red Cross, all these.
They have administrative costs. It's normal. Maybe 20, 30, 40% of what you donate is going to be.
Right when I saw a billboard on the Gardner of Red Cross being like, text 737 to support Ukraine, I was like, that's a billboard they're paying for.
Yes.
Not at a loss. Like, this is a business.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
That's prime real estate for a billboard.
That's
right?
not cheap, especially the big
Give
brands.
that money to Ukraine. It's like, no, well, we want to raise awareness and get the most traffic of support to them. If their salespeople would probably talk circles around your ear, like, well, this is the way aid is administered in the modern world.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but fuck it. I mean, it's like, it shouldn't be less than 75%, the way I look at it. It's like, if it's 50-50, that's fucked up.
Even
too.
50 is a lot.
50-50, that's fucked. Give us $10. We'll make sure 5 gets to them. Why? What the fuck?
Or here's the compromise. You should mention in your pitch what percentage of your donations are going to make it to the end. So whatever it is, you should say that on your website.
And I've seen small scale incredible ones that do 96% to the person, but they're small scale. They tell you exactly what the 4% breakdown is.
That's
like, you know, but I'm like, this is, as soon as this scales up, the powers to be are going to be like, well, there's costs to scaling. You know? We're going to have to take more of it. You know, it's like, and it's tax free. It's a whole fucking, that's probably one of the most evil, ironically, it's probably one of the most evil shit happening is what's really happening with donations because it's tax-free, non-for-profit,
Really?
protected by this and that. Yeah, those guys, the non-for-profit people, they all have mansions, you know? Yeah.
That's pretty
It's
sober.
a fucked up world, bro. But as long as your specific knowledge is to scam people, I say do it. You know what I mean?
If it's your passion and it keeps you up at night and you're creative in how you...
And you can't stop thinking about how to scam good people out of their money. Well, you found your passion. You know what I mean? Double down, you know?
Absolutely.
Start Enron, right? But, bro, this has been a pleasure to have you, man. How do you feel?
I had a really good time. Hopefully we'll do it again. And wish you a lot of success on continuing this. You're putting in the reps, and I respect that. So keep on putting in the reps at the gym and in the studio.
In the studio, too?
Yeah.
Because you know I'm putting them in at the gym, right?
Yes, but I mean like the reps of actually keeping this going every week.
Hey, man, this is the final episode. Guys, on that note, this has been a great podcast.
How long do you think you're going to be keeping the weekly episodes up?
Well, I don't know. I've been thinking about that, where it's like, do I want to keep doing this, or do I want to just close it at a nice 250 episodes or 300 episodes or whatever, and then start the boss? Like, I'll never stop podcasting.
Mm-hmm. Just the
I
brand,
love podcasting.
the brand,
Yeah,
or-
like just call it the Abbas Wahab podcast or something. Just so it doesn't have to be like a specific. I could just be. It'll just be my podcast, you know. And then at that point, if you say anything, it's like I gave you 250 episodes free. It's like, what the fuck are you gonna say? You know, what can be said, right? But we'll figure it out at that time. Who knows what'll happen? Maybe I'll go to 1,000 episodes. Who knows? I thought about this the other day. I'm almost at 10% of all of Joe Rogan's episodes, which is pretty good.
Nice.
10%. That's within a magnitude of power, right?
So
Like,
how long has he been going?
he's like at episode like 1,800, 1,700, something like that.
And do you know if he's weekly as well, or
He does like 3 or 4 a week.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe one a day. Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I would like to do more, but at the same time, the bottleneck of me editing it, doing stand up, making videos, it's too much. It's just too much. You know, each episode you cut like all this stuff. Once we can get it really streamlined with the producer, so he can do live switching during the episode,
Interesting.
then it'll make things much easier. Because right now, after this fucking episode, I got to go back and be like, Alan talked, I talk, Alan talk,
And-
I talk for the whole episode.
And I see multiple cameras. Does that mean you need to download like 2 videos?
Yeah, dude. Edit the audio, sync it to the video,
Oh, the audio is
nest
separate.
it. Yeah, the audio is on this separate. So edit the audio so it's great. Bring it into Premiere. Frame these well, color them up, brighten them up, sync it with the audio, nest it, allow multi-camera editing, and sit there 1, 2, 1, 2 the whole episode. And then anything we talk about, we also bring it up as well. So now I'm doing a new thing where it's like we superimpose, you know, if we're relating, if we're talking about specific topics, we just superimpose it on top. So it's like it's a fucking effort, man.
Like what
I
Jeff
don't know.
Bezos' bald head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know, just to keep viewer retention, just so there's more value of watching it rather than, you know, just so you don't see 2 talking mouths exclusively.
I
just
like
listen
it.
to you know?
I also like the cuts where you zoom in and out.
Yeah.
I think they help. And
Oh, I zoom, baby. I zoom all day. But yo, this has been a fucking pleasure, man. Alan, please.
my pleasure.
Look into the camera. Let the people know where they could find you, where they could hit you up for these books.
You can just put a comment, I guess. I don't have anything to sell, so I don't have a proper website or anything, but my Instagram's AEO_. And if you are interested in this free book, just let me know and I'll shoot it out to you because Abbas took the other one and I think he's already reading it. He's already started. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If anyone has any corrections or any facts that you heard that you think you can improve on, philosophies, please drop in the comments and help me improve.
Man, this guy knows how to up engagement. Yo, but seriously, as always, scroll below. All his stuff is in the description. From my end, so follow the socials, Abbas Wahab _. Support the show directly. If you enjoy what you see, it is a 2-bit operation here. Everything you see is done in-house. So support is appreciated at patreon.com/the Immigrant Section. Besides that, thank you for tuning in. Alan, thank you for reaching, man. Until next time, your boy signing out. Peace.